Okay, so the popular thread on the Valheim discussion today is about a tweet by the Iron Gate CEO, Richard Svensson. In response to a suggestion about ore teleportation, he says, "Not sure why people think we're gonna allow ore in teleports. There's no plan for that." And of course, we had the hardcores celebrating this tweet and sharing it all over the discussion board and talking about it. Now, while we can say that even if there are no plans for it now, there might be plans later, it's much more likely that we won't be seeing this happening at all without the help from mods or F5. So today, I'm going to offer a solution to the disagreement between both sides of the argument that allows hardcore players to continue to play the game as it is currently designed, while lessening the grind the casual crowd goes through to build to their heart's content. First, let's establish the argument. The primary reason casual players are asking for ore to be teleported is not to make the game easier, but rather allow them to build structures quicker without the need for mods or F5. Maybe they have limited free time in the day. Maybe farming is their least favorite activity, but building is their most favorite. Whatever their reason, time is more valuable to casual players because they don't have as much free time due to other responsibilities. The primary reason hardcore players are asking for ore to be restricted is to retain their sense of accomplishment in beating this extraordinarily difficult game by being able to transport ore through exceptionally hazardous areas. Now we can talk about how the hardcore players have no problem teleporting wood and stone for their building projects, and how they'd probably be singing a different tune if they weren't allowed to do so. But let's focus on the solution to the debate instead. The devs have said that they won't be making ore teleportable. Is that even a word? But we can teleport finished goods just fine, like swords and shields. This means that metal isn't the problem, but the ore and ingots themselves. Iron poles need iron ingots, which can't be teleported, so in order to build a very large structure without the use of mods or F5, a player would have to carry the ingots to their build site. This is a free time problem. Other building items that require ingots are the iron gate, the reinforced and personal chest, hanging brazier, the iron torches, and the sconces. In the case of the iron torches and the sconce, they also require a forge, which requires ingots itself. These building pieces are very important in the building of elaborate projects that casual builders are more interested in. Transporting ore for these items becomes tedious if a player wants to build a new base in a different environment. In the case of a free time-starved casual, it could mean that they don't even begin a new build in the first place. Crafting pieces that are required for building projects that require ingots are the stone cutter and the forge. Once building recipes are introduced that require advanced metals, then the blast furnace would be added to that list. Building with stone is particularly troublesome because the stone cutter needs to be built on the build site in order to begin. Now let's look at items necessary for farming ore and ingots: carts and boats. Hardcore players are telling casual players to use carts and boats to transport their ore and ingots. But right now in the game, without logging out or touching F5, a hardcore player has the ability to cut their ore transportation time in half. Destroy the boat, grab the pieces, portal to your home base where the ingots are stored, build the boat, load the ore, and head out to sea. The same can be done with the cart. This is because nails can be teleported and only require a workbench to create the items. Nails are the only building pieces the forge creates. It also creates bronze, but everything else is weapons and armor. This is the solution. Allow the forge to create metal items that count as building materials that can be used in crafting tables, primarily used in building. The grinding wheel is a good example. You create the sharpening stone, which creates the grinding wheel. Let the forge create an iron blade that creates the stone cutter, and allow the iron blade to pass through the portal like the nails and sharpening wheel. You can create iron poles for iron gates and torches, bronze sheets for the hanging brazier, iron braces for the sconces and chests. Changing the recipes to use building pieces rather than ingots reinforces the necessity to transport raw ore to a home base, while allowing a player to easily build new structures elsewhere in the world. This keeps the spirit of the grind in place for hardcore players because the player still needs to explore to new areas and is encouraged to do so in search of new building opportunities and resources, as they do now because ore and ingots would still need to be transported to the forge. But casual players can teleport the building pieces they need without unnecessary transport time. This suggestion isn't crazy because there are already structures in the game that utilize these pieces and can be teleported easily, even if they're endgame items. So let's talk about the windmill. It requires 20 stone, 30 wood, 30 iron nails, and the artisan table, but its ideal location is on the plains. Right now, without mods or F5, I can go to my main base in the meadows, grab the materials for the artisan table, make the nails I need from the stockpile of iron I gathered and transported the hard way, teleport to my chosen location in the plains that I traveled to and scouted before I built a hut and portal, and build the windmill without the need of a forge. The windmill is required to make barley flour, which creates the current endgame food. There's nothing about this structure or process that the hardcore players are against, because it's currently in the game. And the same process is available for the boat and cart. Expanding this capability to other building structures in the game isn't out of the question and should be considered as a solution to this debate. It won't impact game progression because ingots would still be the metal items required for weapons and armor, which require an upgraded workbench and forge. Not to mention that the ore would still need to be transported to a furnace in the first place. I don't see a downside to this. Mining and transporting ore remains the same for hardcore players, but casual players will be able to more easily create multiple structures in various locations. So let me know what you think. I'm genuinely curious to hear your thoughts on if this is a good solution to the debate or not in the comments below. If you liked the video, be sure to sub to the channel, hit the bell, like the video, follow me on Twitter, join the Discord, enter a set, follow me on Twitch, and share the video if you think it's worth it. Until next time, I'll see you in Valheim.